Good morning. Tell me, does this sound familiar? You wake up, maybe a little slower than you used to, and before you know it, the morning has slipped away, leaving you feeling stiff, tired, or just not quite yourself. If that's happened to you, you're not alone. In fact, there are a few common morning mistakes many of us make after 40 that can really set the tone for the rest of the day, and not in a good way. But here's the good news. They're easy to fix. Today, we're going to talk about 4 dangerous morning mistakes and, more importantly, how to turn them around so you can start your day feeling energized, strong, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Now, I know mornings can be tough, especially when joints are a little creakier or energy doesn't come as easily as it once did. But small changes can make a world of difference. So let's dive into the first mistake, because this one might surprise you. Mistake number 1. Jumping out of bed too quickly. How many of us wake up and immediately swing our legs over the side of the bed? It's second nature, right? But here's the problem. As we get older, our blood pressure can take a little longer to adjust after lying down all night. Sitting or standing up too fast can leave you feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or even increase your risk of a fall. And trust me, none of us want that. So, what's the fix? It's simple. Take just 30 seconds when you wake up. Before you even sit up, take a few deep breaths. Then, roll onto your side and push yourself up slowly, letting your body adjust. This gives your blood pressure time to stabilize, and it's a small change that can make a big difference in how you feel those first few minutes of the day. Mistake number 2. Skipping water first thing in the morning. Now, let's talk about something many of us forget: water. After a full night's sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. But instead of reaching for a glass of water, a lot of us go straight for coffee or tea. Now, I love a good cup of coffee as much as anyone, but starting your day without hydrating first can leave you feeling sluggish, foggy, or even contribute to those morning aches and stiffness. Here's an easy fix. Keep a glass or bottle of water by your bedside. Before you do anything else, before coffee, before breakfast, take a few sips. You don't have to gulp down a huge amount. Even half a cup will help wake up your digestion, flush out toxins, and get your brain and muscles ready for the day. Try it for a week, and I bet you'll notice a difference in how you feel. You know, we've already covered 2 important morning habits that might be working against you: jumping out of bed too quickly and forgetting to hydrate first thing. And I hope those tips have been helpful so far. But there are a couple more morning mistakes that people over 40 commonly make, and these next 2 might be even more surprising. Mistake number 3. Starting your day stretched out in bed. Now this might sound contradictory after we just talked about not jumping up too quickly, but hear me out. Many of us wake up and immediately reach for our phones to check messages, or turn on the TV to catch the morning news while we're still lying in bed. And while that might feel relaxing, staying in that stretched-out position for too long can actually make stiffness worse as we get older. Our bodies need gentle movement first thing in the morning to lubricate our joints and get our circulation going. Think about how a car engine needs to warm up on a cold morning. Our bodies work the same way. When we stay completely still for too long after waking up, we're missing that important opportunity to warm up our muscles and joints. Here's a simple solution. After you've taken those few moments to wake up slowly and hydrate, try doing just 2 to 3 minutes of gentle movement right there in bed. You might do some slow ankle circles, knee bends, or even just gently stretching your arms overhead. Nothing strenuous, just enough to remind your body it's time to start moving. These small movements can make a big difference in how flexible and energized you feel throughout the day. Mistake number 4. Eating breakfast too late, or skipping it altogether. Now let's talk about breakfast timing, because this is where many people go wrong without even realizing it. Some of us wait until we've been up for hours before eating, or worse, skip breakfast entirely thinking we're doing our bodies a favor. But after fasting all night, our bodies actually need fuel within about an hour of waking up to maintain steady energy levels and metabolism. When we delay breakfast too long, we often end up feeling that mid-morning slump, that sudden tiredness or difficulty concentrating. And what do we usually reach for then? Quick, sugary snacks that give us a temporary boost but leave us crashing later. The fix is simple but powerful. Try to eat a balanced breakfast within about 60 minutes of waking up. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Even something as simple as a bowl of oatmeal with some nuts, or eggs with whole grain toast can make all the difference. The key is getting some protein and fiber to give you sustained energy without the sugar crash. Now, I know mornings can be hectic, so here's a tip. Prepare what you can the night before. Maybe set out your breakfast dishes, or have hard-boiled eggs ready in the fridge. Small preparations like this can make it much easier to stick with this healthy habit. Now that we've covered those first 4 morning mistakes, let's talk about how to bring it all together into a morning routine that leaves you feeling energized rather than exhausted. Because here's the truth. How you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. And when you're over 40, those small choices make an even bigger difference in how you feel. You might be wondering, okay, I understand what not to do, but what should I actually be doing? Let me share a simple framework that works wonders. First, think of your morning in 3 phases: wake, move, and nourish. The wake phase is what we do in those first few minutes after opening our eyes, taking those deep breaths, hydrating, and gently transitioning from sleep to wakefulness. The move phase comes next, just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement to get your blood flowing and joints lubricated. This could be some light stretching, a short walk around your home, or even just marching in place while your coffee brews. Then comes the nourish phase, giving your body the right fuel at the right time. Remember, we're aiming for that balanced breakfast within about an hour of waking. What's beautiful about this framework is how adaptable it is. Maybe some days you only have time for a 2-minute stretch and a quick smoothie. That's fine. The consistency matters more than perfection. Here's something important I want you to remember. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't need to overhaul your entire morning routine overnight. In fact, I'd suggest picking just one of these mistakes to focus on first. Maybe this week you'll work on getting out of bed more slowly, and next week you'll add in the morning hydration. Small steps create lasting change. I'd love to hear which of these tips resonated most with you. Maybe you've already noticed a difference from trying some of these suggestions? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find this information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We create content like this regularly to help you live your healthiest, most vibrant life at any age. Remember, your mornings don't have to be a struggle. With these simple adjustments, you can start each day feeling more energized, more mobile, and more like the best version of yourself. Here's to making your next morning, and every morning after, your best one yet. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.